morning. Thanks for coming out. So I'd like to let you all know that Coach Holgorsen and West Virginia University have signed a 6-year contract, and it's a significant commitment from the university to Coach Holgorsen, and in turn from Coach Holgorsen to us, a significant commitment. And you've got the press release. I've got plenty of quotes in there. Feel free to obviously lift those quotes. But we're very excited that Dana is making a long-term commitment to us, and we're obviously excited about the season that's rapidly approaching. And with that, I'll turn it over to Coach Holgorsen for a couple of brief comments.
You know, there's a lot of exciting things happening at WVU right now, and you know, not only within the football program, within the athletic department, and the university as a whole. So this adds to it, I think. And not only does this affect me, this affects my children. This affects the whole staff. This affects you know, not only the assistant coaches, but the staff everybody in the building as well. So really excited to get this done and out of the way. We're working hard to make it better around here within the football office and football program on a daily basis, and this will expedite the process and help us achieve what our long-term goals are. So with that said, I'll take a few questions and then I'm going to get back to work. Questions?
In terms of stability, what does this mean? I mean, do you feel like this is going to help solidify? I mean, were there questions about your commitment here beforehand that you were facing?
I didn't view it as any questions as far as what my commitment was. I mean, I wake up and come to work and try to make it a little bit better. I'm sure, you know, Oliver and the administration gets tired of me asking questions and asking how we can make things better on a daily basis. So my commitment's always been the same. But, I mean, it's just what reality is, you know. And when it's, you know, when you know the university commits what they've committed to me, and vice versa, then it's positive, you know. And you know, assistant coaches are going to view this as stability, and they're going to want to be here, and players are going to view this as stability and going to want to be here, and it's going to help their recruiting, and it's going to help them support and ticket sales and the rest.
When did you know along the way that this was, you know, the program for you long term here?
I mean, like we've talked about, I didn't know a whole lot about it prior to me arriving 18, 19 months ago. But you know, with the leadership that we have in place with Oliver and Dr. Clements and a whole bunch of people that I've got to know, and I knew it was a place that I was going to want to stay with their support. You got to have everybody pulling in the right direction. And I've been in athletic departments where people don't get along great, and what I've witnessed around here is coaches getting along, and different sports getting along, and administration getting along. So you know, it seems like a win-win to me.
Dude, I know what term sheets are, and I know that you've been paid and all that stuff, but you wouldn't be here today unless this was some type of a big deal. What goes into the delay between then and now, though?
Then being when
you just getting to this process. I mean, you had us on term sheet for a long, long time, but this is obviously different. I don't want to say hold up, but there's certain things that go on. Anything?
You know, the term sheet. We've been going off of that for 18 months. I mean, that's a contract in itself. But this is a little bit more of a full-blown contract that kind of lays out, you know, just different things that what you need to be expected to do.
Dana, the 2017 date. Did you like that date because it gives you 5 years? You can tell recruits who'll be here, perhaps throughout their whole tenure.
Yeah, time goes fast. 5.5 years is going to be here pretty quick. Hopefully I'm standing here in 5 years and we've accomplished a lot.
Sweet changes for your assistant coaches as well, in terms of their contracts. Are they going to be done alongside yours?
You know, theirs have been in pretty good shape here since they've got here. One thing that's you know, it's been fairly not easy to hire assistant coaches or keep assistant coaches. None of that is all that's besides the point. But you know, when we looked at the comparables going from the Big East and the Big 12 assistant coach wise, we were right on par. So you know, they're pretty good. It's just, you know, assistant coaches view stability the way I view the stability as an assistant coach. The way these guys do is the stability of the head coach. As long as the head coach is good, I would assume the assistant coach is good.
Buyout clauses can be divisive. Do you have a particular position on those?
I don't worry about it too much. And you know, a lot of these questions when it comes to contracts and buyouts that I had as assistant coach, I didn't even have a contract or a buyout as an assistant coach. So a lot of this stuff's new to me, but it's just a commitment. That's kind of what you mean by commitment. It's like when we're talking to recruits about a commitment, we've got to say, look, you understand what a commitment is? And obviously we can't get those guys to sign until February, and then it becomes a true commitment. But same thing here. By signing the contract, both me and Oliver, it's a commitment obviously on the university to, say we need to keep proceeding, and then it's a commitment on our part to keep trying to make it better on a daily basis as well. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Oliver, what is the buyout on this contract?
On this contract, if Dana would leave early or be lured away by another school, it's a $2 million buyout.
$2 million, and does that graduate or?
No, it's a
at any time?
flat number across the board.
The other way.
I'm sorry?
And the other way.
The other way?
If you want to get rid of it.
There's no language the other way. Correct.
So I assume that you would have to pay the term of the contract.
That's correct.
Can you kind of describe how 6 years seems like a little bit of on the longer side of the way college contracts are done these days. Can you describe how you guys got to that number?
Well, we spent a good bit of time talking, with Dana's agent, and decided that that's the term that made the most sense, both for him as well as for us. I think, as you all realize from being in this building fairly often, the head coach is the leader of our football department. A lot of people that want to make long-term plans, and we think this is a good long-term strategy. We think it'll, as Dana mentioned, help the stability of the assistant coaches, the football staff, all those folks that make this work. It's not just one guy, honestly. It's a big group of people that make a football program successful. And of course, Dana's at the tip of that spear.
Is there a non-compete clause in terms of can or cannot do it?
It'll be posted, so I prefer that y'all go online whenever Mike and the guys can get it up, and you'll be able to see all the details.
I know other WVU coaches in the past have had that. What was the rationale in deciding not to include it this time?
I think as we looked, at the Big 12 contracts and looked at all the aspects of those contracts, no compete clause is a priority. And certainly in the Big 12.
Ollie, contracts can be complicated, but 18 months seems like a long time to work this out. Was it just the minutia? What was it that took a while to get this done?
Well, we began to talk sort of seriously in the off season, and there's no specific reason for it taking this long. We had set a goal for camp, before the season starts, for the contract to get finalized, and just the natural course of events. Gary Furby from the University General Counsel's office is here, and Gary, his boss Bill Hutchins, many others worked on it. Just takes a while to get done, I think. But we're all delighted that it's finished and that Dana has signed. We have signed the contract. I've signed the contract, and it's in place. It allows really the coaches, I think, to focus, not that they haven't, but to really focus completely on the upcoming season.
I know Dana had said that the assistants were in line with the Big 12 assistant coaches. Do you anticipate going back and looking at those, or are their contracts going to stay as is?
Well, the assistant coaches, we've got two groups, all of whom are relatively new on campus. The assistant defensive coaches, of course, are relatively new. So they were all hired with Big 12 in mind, obviously, and that's somewhat true of the offensive assistant coaches. But as Dana mentioned, I think their compensation packages are very fair. They're in line with what we've seen in the Big 12. And as we go down the road, we'll continue to monitor that. The compensation of all coaches is a fluid thing in today's world, certainly of college football. So as we go forward, we'll continue to monitor that. If we need to make changes, we certainly we'll feel as though we have the ability to do that.
Oliver, when you think back to when you hired Dana, he had never had head coaching experience, and now where you are today, how satisfying is this for you that things have gone the way they have?
It's been a good year, but I would emphasize it's only been a year. And think he's a tremendous coach. I would like for him to coach in Morgantown as long as he wants to coach here. I think he has a great track record, both this past season as the head coach as well as prior to this as an assistant coach at a variety of different schools. I think our recruiting is in good shape. Certainly the move to the Big 12 is something that's been very well received by Mountaineer faithful. Our ticket sales are through the roof. It's a record for preseason sales at this point before the season starts. So I think a lot of that is attributed to Dana and the excitement that he's brought to the program. So I'm certainly satisfied, but nowhere near complacent. There's still a lot that we need to accomplish, and we're going into a very competitive conference. You all have heard me say this many times before. We've got a lot of respect for the Big 12 programs. It's going to be a real challenge to continue to have the success that the Mountaineer fans have become accustomed to. But it's good that we have high expectations. That drives these guys out here every day at practice.
You had the term sheet before, but to get this signed before the season, any significance on did you guys ultimately, did you want to get this signed before it all came before the season started?
We thought it made sense to get it signed, sealed, and delivered, so to speak, before the season started. So it's we're in the grind of two-a-days. I just don't want to distract the coaches or the players, for that matter, student athletes, from their responsibilities. They've got a lot to worry about this time of year with the season coming up and, of course, school starting next week. So it's, we're glad we had a chance to get this done and put to bed.
Okay, all.
I'll-
Thank you very much.
I'm just curious about retention payments. If there's raises and you have various other incentives, I know it's fairly common, but with so many other
There are a few, and I defer to when the contract's posted this afternoon.
but the purpose of.
Well, I think the purpose, listen, Coach, it's a very fluid market. I believe that Coach Holgorsen is going to be a coach who will be in demand. He's young, he's innovative, he's got a great track record of success in a very difficult conference, certainly as an assistant coach out of Texas Tech, at Oklahoma State, and the University of Houston. And so I think those are all pieces to making sure that he feels that this is his home long term. Thanks.
Okay, Coach DeForest is in the